Hey everyone, welcome back to Corporate Decoder, the place where we try to unravel the mysteries hiding in plain sight in the world of business, maybe even find some hidden treasure or a leaky boat. Today we're diving into a filing from Lazydays Holdings Incorporated, a company folks might know if they're in the market for recreational vehicles, campers, and all things that help you hit the open road. Now, you might be thinking, what is so exciting about a company moving its stock from one place to another? Well, sometimes the why behind these moves tells us a much bigger story about the company's health and its future plans. Stick around. Because this isn't just about a stock exchange, it is about the direction Lazydays is steering itself. And if you like getting these kinds of insights directly from the source, make sure you are subscribed and join our Discord community, linked in the description below for even more in-depth chat. Alright, so we're looking at a Form 8K filing. Think of this as a company's way of telling the world about something significant that just happened, something that investors need to know about right away. And for Lazydays, the big news here on November 7th, 2025 is a decision made by their board of directors. You know, the folks steering the ship. They've decided to take their common stock off the Nasdaq capital market. Now, delisting doesn't sound like great news on the surface, right? It is like deciding to move your store out of a busy mall. But let's figure out why they're doing this and what it really means. So, they've officially told Nasdaq they're going to be filing a specific form, a Form 25 with the Securities and Exchange Commission. This is the official paperwork to start the delisting process. They expect this to be official around November 28th, 2025. Now, here is a key point that might raise an eyebrow. Lazydays isn't saying they're moving their stock to another big stock exchange. They haven't made any arrangements for that. This means that after they leave Nasdaq, it is uncertain where, or if their stock will be traded. It might end up on an over-the-counter market, which can be a bit more volatile and less transparent, or it might become very difficult to buy and sell for the average investor. This is a big signal about their current strategy or perhaps their financial standing. To get more color on this decision, they also released a press statement on the same day. These press releases often try to put a positive spin on things, but they can also reveal underlying issues or strategic shifts. We've got that press release included here as an exhibit, and it is worth a look to understand their reasoning directly from them. This exhibit is essentially the company's official story of why they are delisting. It is their chance to explain their move to shareholders and the public. While the filing itself tells us what they are doing, the press release usually tries to explain why. This is a standard exhibit for any modern SEC filing. It is a digital file that makes the financial information in the report easier for computers to read and analyze. Think of it as a super organized, machine-readable summary of all the numbers. While it is not a story in itself, it is what allows us to dig into their financial health efficiently. And here we have the signature, certifying that this report is accurate and complete. It is signed by Ronald K. Fleming, the Chief Executive Officer of Lazydays Holdings Incorporated. Ultimately, he and the board are responsible for these decisions. So what does this all mean? A delisting from a major exchange like Nasdaq is a serious move. Companies usually do this for a few reasons. Sometimes it is because their stock price has fallen too low, making it difficult to meet listing requirements. Other times it might be a strategic decision to go private, maybe to avoid the scrutiny of public markets or to restructure the company away from the demands of shareholders. It could also be that the costs of being listed on Nasdaq outweigh the benefits for the company at its current stage. For investors, this creates uncertainty. If their stock is no longer on a major exchange, it can become much less liquid, meaning it is harder to buy or sell shares quickly without affecting the price. This can also signal that the company isn't performing as well as it needs to be to stay on a major exchange, or that it has a different vision for its future that doesn't involve the public markets. Looking at Lazydays specifically, they operate in the leisure and recreational vehicle market. This is a sector that can be quite cyclical, heavily influenced by economic conditions and consumer spending. When people have disposable income and feel confident about the future, they're more likely to buy RVs and take vacations. When times get tough, these big ticket purchases are often the first to be cut. The decision to delist from Nasdaq, especially without an immediate plan to list elsewhere, suggests that Lazydays might be facing significant headwinds. It's a strong indication that they might be prioritizing financial survival or a major internal restructuring over the visibility and access to capital that a public listing provides. We need to look closely at their financials and any accompanying statements to understand if this is a strategic pivot towards greater control and recovery or a sign of deeper distress. Without more information from the press release and any attached financial statements, it is hard to say definitively. However, leaving a major exchange is generally not a sign of booming confidence in immediate public market performance. It's a move that demands a closer look at the company's underlying business and its long-term prospects away from the glare of Nasdaq. Alright, that is our breakdown of this Lazydays Holdings filing. What is your take on this delisting move and what it might signal for the company's future? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this analysis was valuable, hitting that like button really helps, and subscribe for more deep dives. Don't forget to check out the Discord in the description. Thanks for watching, see you next time.